Do you get wrecked every race? Are you always a victim of collisions? Or when you race hard, does it always feel like multi-class traffic or back markers holding you back, making you lose time? And does it seem like you're the only one who suffers from this problem, or at least more? And even when you do have great fights, do you still feel like other people are too aggressive? I've been sim racing for years. In this video, I want to reframe some of these beliefs to help you avoid them next time, so you get better results, better fights, and just become a better sim racer in general. Oh yeah, and it also makes sim racing like 10 times more fun. At some point, these random incidents on track will slowly but gently start to fall away from you, because you will develop a sixth sense for mayhem and racecraft understanding. And it starts with something you really don't want to hear. It's your own fault. Yeah, but Arnout, he didn't give me the space, or he pushed it into the inside. The back markers only hold me back, not the other drivers. I had nowhere to go. It's so easy to point fingers. He should have done better. I was on the inside. And maybe you're right. And who cares? You do. Because here you are, lap 29, time invested, damage on the rear, and there's almost nothing more infuriating than the things I've just described. But by putting blame on others, you give control to others. They become responsible for your performance. And not just performance, also enjoyment. Now let me ask you, do you want that? Or do you want to be in control next time? If you want control, you need to take the blame first. It's your fault. You should have seen it coming. You know you're 0.3 seconds off the pace. 3 back markers are not going to change that. The opposition also needs to overtake them. After enough lapped cars, the scale will probably stay the same. The aggressive driver who was always going to dive bomb you, you probably could have known he was going to send it. So why did you let him? And I'm not saying I'm immune to this, but when I get into a collision, I usually blame myself first. I look at my own replay and assume it's my fault. And what this does, it opens your mind to actually understand what's going on inside of the other person where you have this contact with. It helps you to see a perspective more clearly without narrowing your mind, so you can actually learn from it. And yeah, this is kind of hard, I get it. But just ask yourself, when bad stuff happens on track, what could I have done to prevent it? Sometimes you see streamers avoid complex mayhem or pull off great avoidance moves, but they didn't learn that from blaming others. They have been victims themselves, but they learn from it. Okay, I know, but what about these intentional wreckers? They're just out there to kill everyone. That's gaming reality. It's not fair. Some games, some daily races are horrible, but even then, you can often avoid them. Usually, they are not skilled drivers to begin with. In dailies, for instance, if I see a car next on track or I see a back marker in a daily race on a popular time, I'm always a little suspicious. I'm like, I've seen enough shit to think that something might be up, something could be happening. So let's talk about your own actions, how to act. You got punted in lap 1. You're in the grass and the whole field just went by, you're in last place. You can have 2 mindsets here. You can start blaming how one hit you off track and now you are on the back, or you're gonna be a little bit more of a champion mentality and you're gonna make a good result despite this happening to you. When we spin because of a collision, we suddenly have a chance to make an epic story. Maybe you didn't want this, but maybe you still got P5, despite the back markers, despite the damage, despite getting hit in lap 1. And honestly, these stories is what racing makes memorable. Driving through traffic, finding ways to overtake, surviving the chaos. And I see sometimes comments that people, I'm gonna quit sim racing because of all of these collisions. You have this paradox. You cannot have the highs without the lows. Let's imagine a few inexperienced drivers hitting you, making you quit because they just didn't know. I mean, how stupid is that? Don't quit on it. In the next clip, I had to deal with a very aggressive driver, and it doesn't happen to me that often anymore, but I really want to make this an example on how you can deal with this and how I'm dealing with it now at this moment in time. I'm also not saying I'm coming from this mountain and I know everything, but this is just something I have learned through all the years and years I've been doing this. Okay, so I'm doing lots of daily races with a lot of different cars to test my setups, if they're still viable, if they still feel well. Didn't do a good qualifying, so I normally overtake some people. But I want to show you my mindset as I approach a very aggressive driver that doesn't want to be overtaken. And I'm not blaming him for anything. I just think he just has a wrong mentality about a lot of stuff. So please don't see this as very hard critique, but there's a lot you need to improve upon, sir. I am behind this Porsche over here, and this is the first attempt. I can overtake him. I'm on the inside. I'm easy on the brakes because I don't want to overshoot him or hit him, and because of that I don't get the position all of a sudden, but I do want to avoid the contact. So over here I failed. I had a little bit of oversteer moment. The car wasn't really like I really get used to the car at this stage on this high level setup, and then I had to wait a bit. So the first thing that comes to mind, well, I need to do better. I need to like brake later, or I need to do the exit better, or I just shouldn't oversteer or whatever. So the opportunity is gone now, okay? So the next thing what happens, I really gain on him in the braking zone and in this section. This Merc is really driving on the throttle over here, and I can see I'm closing the gap. So I'm like thinking, okay, let's do it. We can take him, all right? So we're going further to this section, and I'm almost like again closing the gap here, but I'm also fully aware he is fighting that Lamborghini as well. So he has like the double pressure from someone in front and the back. I actually have a great exit here. My car is really pulling me out of this off on this straight, and now I can see the opportunity. I'm like, I'm gonna overtake him now. I mean, I got so much speed, I can just overtake him. He chooses the inside line, which is fine. We're gonna be on the outside line, and we're gonna do an attempt again. I'm gonna kind of force him a little bit to the inside so he doesn't get to a good racing line, but I will give him the opportunity to do so. And obviously he outbraked me here, and here we are still fighting. I had to take a track limit here. By the way, I would never ever take the position like that, but yeah, I'll take that limit, no worries. So, but then again, I still couldn't overtake him, you know? And let's move on. Now the next thing what happened was multi-class traffic, and this kind of disturbs everything and puts everything on hold. Don't get infuriated by this. This is just how it is. You got other cars, you need to like give each other some space, you know, everybody's racing. So I see the opportunity here, but now again this LMP3 makes a small mistake. Again, kind of like this really like hurted me, and now the gap is bigger. But what can I do? I can just move on, do as best as I can, and the opportunity will come again. I really believe that the LMP3 shouldn't be in GT3 races, but that's just me. Now something really other interesting starts to happen as I'm using my awareness at this point. And what happens now is that the Porsche dive bombs an LMP3. Like, what would you expect to happen after that? And with that knowledge that I have right now in my racing, I know that this car is just gonna be trouble. Because who dives an LMP3? You just don't do that. You just wait, they will be gone. Dive bombing will just keep you in this fight with another class, which is completely pointless. So knowing that gives me such a crucial information on the behavior of this driver. Again, I get a great exit speed, but all of a sudden I know, yeah, maybe he's gonna do something else, like weirdly. Now the thing is, I really thought this individual was gonna hit me out of frustration, but he didn't. I actually, like, I'm trying to understand at this moment in time, like, what is going on in the side of this brain of this person. Now I stay on the inside because I don't want to give him the illusion to take the inside again, but I do have a little bit of an issue with my car because he is quicker on this sector. So I know, like, okay, I'm gonna have this understeer here and he's gonna get close, and the thing is that I wanted to keep my inside line, and he's actually dive bombing me here, like he did on the LP3 beforehand. Which is okay, I guess, I don't know. But I want to point out that my feelings and my, like, anger level is starting to increase at this stage. You know, because I'm like, come on, man. Because I'm closing the gap so quickly. And if he would just let me by, then we would both be quicker. But some people just don't have that overview. And, or maybe I'm not good enough at overtaking. And that's how I'm taking the blame myself. Now here I oversteer, you know, all these things start to compound. But the only thing I can do at this stage is just to do better. Now we're already 11 laps in, and staying calm is a real skill at this stage. But we're also gonna do a pit stop, so maybe we can just undercut him. So I was trying to save a little bit, didn't really work. We went for, I think it's the 4th or 5th attempt at this stage. And I'm like really amazed by the whole thing, why he's letting me have the inside now all of a sudden. So let's see what happens. Now, the Merc has this great acceleration. We're in the same position as we were before, but now I am actually informed and I kind of know what he's going to do. I'm trying to improve this line right now. If I can somehow get some more speed out of this corner, I can maybe not have him overtake me. So I thought to myself, I stay on the inside, and I stay on the inside, but now I make a mistake and I cannot really keep control, so I had to brake early because of defending the inside line. And now I'm like, okay, now we got him, yeah, now we have the position and now we can do it. But I still wanted to go, and I think to myself, oh my god, he's gonna push it on the inside, and here we are. This was my fault. I squeezed him. He sent it anyway. If I would just wait it, for instance, if I would just have waited here, he would have never made that breaking point. He would never have made it. Most likely. But I was kind of angry. So I was like, I'm gonna force him into, like, I'm letting him ram me. But I got the bad end of the deal here. Okay? Then you stop. Because there are other people. They are doing their race, and they're looking at me like, see ya, don't want to be ya, you know. But you need to do a safe rejoin. So I was ready to go on the throttle, but I had to wait for this Porsche. I can see no one's coming. Safe rejoin. And you think this is it? No, because the race is not finished. We have 20 minutes left. Pit stops are gonna come. And we're gonna keep racing, because I don't give up, you know. I just want to keep going. The car has some damage, but it's not that significant. Great, kudos for Le Mans Ultimate that we can actually keep driving, even though we had kind of like unrealistic contact. But anyways, so when we went to have the pit stop, we are with the same problem again in front of us, and we're gonna have to deal with this, you know. And we have another car here, so let's move on. Now I know the Porsche is kind of like not that good on tire wear, but we have a new opportunity. Let's try to overtake this Porsche yet again. I'm not giving up. I calmed down at this stage because I'm thinking like, okay, we can just learn from the situation. Now he's missing his braking point, we are not, and we can get maybe an overtake here. Again, this is a horrible position. But I'm gonna be here on his outside anyway to make him take a little bit horrible line. So now I can make a better line, and he's like more on the outside doing that curb. It's not really favorable. Now I want to point out that this is like the 7th attempt to overtake this Porsche, and we're actually going to succeed, hopefully. But note kind of what I'm doing, because I'm giving him a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. I don't want to drive like this. But I'm also kind of not wanting to give up. So again, I want to avoid contact here, make the apex. But I'm kind of not being so nice anymore against him, because like, you know, you can be here on the outside, whatever. I just wanted to, yeah, show him who's boss and who made the corner. Now we have this situation again. And I'm thinking to myself, like, now he must be too far off, right? He cannot now and all of a sudden dive bomb it on the inside, is he? And that's why I'm taking the inside line. And Now, again, I'm taking a huge risk by dropping my mid-corner speed so low that he's kind of ramming me again because I just cannot turn the car after a close, tight apex like this. But again, I'm very much aware of the risks. Like, if he would hit me off again in a circle, I'd know I would blame it for 90% of myself because I could just have gone wide instead. But I didn't. This is just a choice I made, and I'm gonna sit with it. Now, it turned out well, and now we actually gain a position. And again, I was now really afraid for a dive bomb, because if someone would overtake me like this, it was very easy to lose your temper like this, but that didn't happen. So that's why I also think this driver was just unaware that these kinds of things you can actually not do online. So, and in races in general, I think you should be way more supportive and like understand, like, okay, I cannot keep up with this driver or whatever. But I keep the control to myself. I keep the honor to myself. And eventually we did overtake him. And we end up like P8 and we started in P8, whatever. But look at this great video we have now. So it's also good for the content and it's great for experience. So instead of like getting super angry about stuff, look how you can prove yourself and enjoy the process instead. Even though sometimes things are working against you. Thanks for watching.